And welcome back to another video, and today we're talking about something brand new. This is the new Tilta Nucleus Nano version 2. Okay, you've probably seen a bunch of posts about this, some reels and stuff going around, but this is the new version of this guy right here. And there's definitely some improvements. The main thing that everyone notices is the screen on this guy. They're pretty similar in size. This one has a removable battery, which I don't ever use because I usually leave these plugged in. This one doesn't, so I kind of prefer that. And then mounting, this is a standard NATO rail, not this mount that came on the old one. So I think that's improved. But the big improvements are that you can control 3 motors with this at the same time. So you have your focus and you have your zoom on this toggle right here, and then you can control your iris on your screen. You can control cameras, all kinds of stuff. You can see that it's recording on the screen there, and then when I press that, it turns green. There's not a lot of cameras supported yet, but obviously with updates and the camera unlocks, it could be as cool as the Komodo, letting you control settings from this. I don't know if Red will allow that, but that could be a really cool option. As far as the motors go, I have both rigged up here, as you can see. So this is the old one, and this is the new one. Definitely a little bit smaller. It is a lot easier to sync and change settings. It has a little RGB light on there, so as you click the button, it changes colors for focus, zoom, iris. The sync in the setup, I think, is a lot easier. It has USB-C in and out, so I usually power it with this little D-tap to USB-C, and then you can link out to another one. I'm still waiting for my second motor, so that way I can control both, but I've tested all the functions. Focus, zoom, and iris work really well from this device. The touchscreen on here is very responsive. The software seems pretty intuitive. It seems like there's a lot of functions, way more than this gives you. I haven't really dove into it yet. Battery life seems pretty good. It's definitely worthwhile to upgrade from this unit to this unit, especially being able to control multiple motors. Now, the number one thing for me, as I'm usually using these remote controlled, so the camera lives somewhere else and I'm somewhere far away, is what the range looks like on these. Because usually we use something like RT Motion, which has a pretty long range, but it's still limited. So I did a little test to see what that range looks like. Okay, so we have our camera rigged up here with the Tilta Fizz. Cannon's gonna play drums for us, and I'm gonna walk upstairs and see how the range does on this thing. So as you can see, I have it rigged up to the zoom, and it's zooming with the thumb wheel. All right, let's go, Cannon. Okay, so up one floor, and it's still connecting. So now I'm in my office, so 2 floors above it. And it seems slightly stuttery, but it still is working totally fine. And yeah, seems like that range through 2 floors is not bad. So as you can see in that video, the range is pretty good. It was going through 2 floors. Obviously this isn't concrete, it's wood, and there's not a ton of RF going on, but it seems like it did a pretty good job. It held up pretty well. So first impressions, I feel really impressed with what this unit is doing. The improvements are fantastic. I'd be really curious to see if they bring a lot of these improvements to their bigger models that have more powerful motors. I don't have any problem with zoom and this motor though, with this Fuji lens. So theoretically, this should be fine. Put a little NATO mounted onto my DJI controller, and it would be a nice little setup being able to control my zoom here, my focus here. And yeah, I mean, so far, I think first impressions, really impressed.